know that you think you're the coolest one in town, but to me you'll be much cooler when you're 6 feet underground. Some of us are crazy, some are smart and brave. Well, it doesn't really matter, we all end up in the grave. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. I say it, all my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead.
Well, hello there, breathers.
And welcome back
To another
fabulous
episode
of All My Favorite People Are Dead. What are you gonna do?
Talk about him.
Oh, okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm Sue Teresi.
I'm Shannon Butler.
And people just, they're like dropping like flies.
They're dying to get on our podcast.
I'm
and
just...
our special guest,
Lila?
Lila's here.
Oh, did we get that? Did we pick that
I
up?
hope so.
Wait, Lila?
You gonna speak?
No, she's not gonna do it.
No, she won't.
Oh, I heard a little purr.
Little purr.
You say hi? She's like, screw you.
No.
I don't know. You got food?
I talk when I want to talk.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't feel like very. I got nothing to say. What was that, Lila? Timmy fell down the well?
You want to come over here, Lila?
Go to Aunt Shan.
No.
Go. So I'm gonna do a oh shit modern obit, but I'm doing it off the cuff. You want to know why? I'll tell you why.
I'm curious.
Okay. Yesterday, which was what, the 7th of March, Steve Lawrence died. Who the hell is Steve Lawrence?
No idea.
I know. Thank you, millennial.
That's way before my time.
It was before my time too, but
okay.
and I know about him simply because he was friends with my mother.
Get out.
Yeah, his real, because my mother calls him Sidney, which is his real name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Sidney Leibowitz.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And he was part of a singing duo, like a Vegas type think that.
Okay.
Stephen Eady.
Oh.
And his wife had, ever hear of them? Stephen Eady, Steve Lawrence, Eady Gourmet. Ask your mother. All right. So in any event, I grew up listening to and was subjected to that kind of stuff, and it was okay. It was all good
didn't
stuff.
You grow up listening to metal?
Yes, but my mother played. That was in the 80s. But this was stuff that my mother had played simply because. So he was 88. And then I had to make the call to my mother because I don't think she watches the news anymore. I'm like, Mom, everything all right? I'm like, Mom, Sidney died. Oh, no, when? I said, he died. How old was he? I said, he was 88. Oh, he would have been 89 in July. His birthday is in July. And Edie has gone a couple of years, and she was like 8 years older than him. And, he went to Jefferson with me. So I don't have to Wikipedia or check out this guy because my mother knew. Yeah.
Oh.
So, Sidney Leibowitz, 88, died from complications from Alzheimer's.
Oh, bummer.
And unfortunately made my mom and that whole generation sad.
Are there any songs that we would know?
Not that not in English. This is a terrible thing.
Oh.
Because he also did he did a lot of English, but he did one of these songs, I'm pretty sure it was him. Tell Me Where Can I Go? Which was in Yiddish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it like a comedy thing? Or
No, they were singers. They were...
Okay.
Like lounge singers.
Okay.
So Tell Me Where Can I Go? All the doors are closed.
Ah.
Vihin Solach Gay or Vihin Solach Guy, depending on your dialect. Every door is closed for me.
Oh.
Tell me where can I go?
That sounds horrible.
Well, it's about Israel. It's about the formation.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah. So and it was done in Yiddish, and he did English songs, which I cannot name you, but yeah.
Okay.
So. That's the story.
That's the modern day.
So that's the modern day obit.
Shit.
So now let's get to somebody that I've had on the back burner for way too long.
I know. You've been saying, I'm going to do her.
I love her and I admire her. And then, I don't know. Then I found out this, that, and the other thing. And she's been sitting and hanging on my computer. And in one of my book clubs recently, we came across, she was mentioned.
Okay.
And they gave reference to her because they were talking about female reporters and stuff. I was like, see, there it is. That's the reminder I needed.
That's it.
And then my other friend, Dave with the ice cream, what do you call him? Cold Dave? Whatever
Cold Dave?
Yes.
Hot Dave and Cold Dave.
Well,
right.
This is the ice cream. This is Cold Dave. He had mentioned her also. I said, that's it. I said 3 times is a charm.
Okay.
So now I can't leave her on the back burner anymore. 3 times it's yours.
Let's do it.
So let's talk about the female investigative reporter, Nellie Bly.
Nellie Bly.
Okay.
Right. I'm excited because I admire her too.
How can you not? I mean, such a woman. You and I would have definitely gone out for margaritas with her.
Yeah.
She was born May 5th, 1864 in Cochrane Mills, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's funny that her name is Elizabeth Cochrane.
No way.
Yes, way. Because the town was founded by her father.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah. She died January 27th, 1992 in New York.
Wait, 1992?
1922.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm like, no, she did not.
Sorry. 1922.
That sounds more right.
Yeah, okay. Elizabeth Cochran Seaman, better known as Nellie Bly, which was her pen name. She was an American journalist, pioneer in the field, and launched a new type of investigative journalism. Mm-hmm. She did not allow herself to be defined by the time she lived in.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Remarkably modern for her time. So her father was Judge landowner Michael, who they named the town after. He founded the town.
Okay.
Her mother, Mary Jane, met her father. They were both widowed when they met.
Okay.
Michael had 10 children with his first wife and then 5 more with Mary Jane.
Whew, he's busy.
Apparently. That's why I needed a town named after him to house all his offspring, apparently. Nellie being their third child together. So Mary Jane wanted her daughter to stand out at this time. So she started dressing her in pink frills.
Oh.
Yeah. Earning
That's
Nellie...
a different way of standing out.
She was a kid, so earning the name Pinky.
Pinky?
Yeah, so I guess they called it Pinky, and I don't think it was very flattering.
Oh, she didn't like it?
I don't think so. No. Wearing pink frills and standing out like that, I doubt it. So when she was 6, her father died, left no will.
Oh.
Mom is poor now.
Oh, that's a problem.
Okay, yeah. Right? Because there's nothing proving anything.
Ooh.
Okay, and then even if it's in a man's name...
Never mind the fact that you've got a whole town named after you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No.
You could live in the town, probably in a garbage can, but you could live in the town.
Oh.
So Nellie decided at that time, seeing what her mother went through, I need a career, not a husband when I get older, right? Forward thinking right there. I don't need no man.
That's very advanced for her time.
Really? Well, she saw that her mother got screwed, and she's like, not me.
Yeah.
So, and Nellie's passion was reading. So she was reading the Pittsburgh Dispatch.
Okay.
So she wound up getting a job at the Pittsburgh Dispatch because she wrote in response to an article. So there was an article, she didn't agree with it. She wrote in like an op-ed type of thing and signed it under Lonely Orphan Girl.
Aww.
The editor, who was George Madden, was very impressed with her passion, running an advertisement asking the author to come forward and identify herself because he liked her rebuttal so much. Mm-hmm. So when Cochran introduced herself to the editor, he offered her the opportunity to write a piece for the newspaper, again under the pseudonym Lonely Orphan Girl.
Okay.
Because in the 1880s, it was unladylike for a female reporter to use her real name.
Sure.
So she started calling herself Nellie Bly, which was a popular song in the day. Don't ask me to hum a few bars of that either. I'm not going to sing the Nellie Bly, but it was a popular song.
You only know the theme to Oscar Mayer Wiener.
That. And I know some songs in Yiddish, but I do not know the Nellie Bly song.
Okay.
So there. But it was a popular song in the day.
Okay.
So back then, female writers or reporters, they were expected to write about important stuff like fashion, shopping, recipes, crap like that.
Yeah.
Nellie was focusing her early work from the Pittsburgh Dispatch on the lives of working women, writing a series of investigative articles on women factory workers. Okay. Then she's like, "Yeah, I'm not doing this, recipe crap. I want to do something real."
Something tells me she's probably not a good cook anyway.
But, who has time?
Right.
And microwave dinners hadn't been invented.
That's for sure.
Anyway. So she decided to do something, quote unquote, no girl has ever done before.
Get it, girl.
She travels to Mexico to serve as a foreign correspondent, spending nearly half a year reporting on the lives and the customs of Mexican people.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. The Mexican government threatened to put her in jail because she was writing that they were treating their people unfairly.
Oh, really?
Don't tell about that. Oh. Later on, her articles on Mexico would be turned into a book called 6 Months in Mexico in 1888. But for now, she was there, she's writing the truth, and they're like, no.
Nobody likes the truth.
After 3 years with the Dispatch, she leaves and goes to New York. She set her sights on working for the New York World, owned by Joe Pulitzer. Mm-hmm. She faced a lot of rejection because women reporters weren't the most popular thing back then.
Sure.
And now a new kind of journalism was emerging. Stunt reporting. What stunt reporting? That's where a journalist goes undercover to get the real details.
I like it.
Okay? And the plot thickens. Okay. Nellie's editor wanted her to find evidence on the women's lunatic asylum on Blackwell's Island.
My favorite.
I think I was there.
I feel like I was there in a
think
previous
we
life.
were there.
We were
yeah.
there.
I think we should have been
We
there.
were cellmates in
Oh,
a previous
that's
life.
why you're so familiar, honey.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you and your monkey. Nellie would have to convince the staff there that she was mentally ill in order to get admitted. So Nellie wasn't the type to back down from a challenge.
She's like, I got this.
I got this, babe, yeah. So she prepared herself for the assignment. She was roaming the streets, looking unkempt, probably stopping at Walmart, you know. And so she stops at a boarding house. She makes herself look strange and acting out that the roommates are like, what the hell? What the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell, Nellie? So she scared the crap out of the roommate that the cops are brought in. She's brought down to police court where she's acting good enough as a lunatic to be sent to Bellevue for further evaluation.
Cha-ching.
Right? So she's, I don't know, spitting on a, looking, I mean, I can't imagine being that hard, that crazy. You and I do it all the time.
Yeah, we'd be fine.
So she tells the doctor at Bellevue, because she was worried at Bellevue that they're gonna see through her. She, I hear voices. I hear voices. Don't you hear that? So at that point, she gets transported to Blackwell Island, which is now Roosevelt Island.
Yes.
Oh, there she goes.
Oh,
I already heard that.
Lila's like, I want to talk about Nellie Bly.
Let's talk about Nellie Bly. Did she have a cat? Oh, see? All right.
I think your cat might be the spirit of Nellie Bly.
Is that it?
Maybe.
Okay. Because she lives in a nut house, too.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
So the asylum was awful and terrifying. Can you imagine? I mean, I can't even imagine this.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, I know just from the old Hudson River State Hospital near Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, what went on there?
And I've heard people...
Me too.
Like
me too.
my mom...
The horror stories.
My mom said that sometimes when they would drive around... just go on like a little drive. There was a golf course on the property, and my grandfather liked to play there, I guess.
Okay.
And Mom said that they would be driving through there, and the patients would just be walking like zombies along the property.
Yeah.
And,
I've heard
and she
horror
was
stories.
terrified of it. Yeah.
Was it Geraldo did that one?
Oh,
what was that one? What was the name on that one?
Oh gosh.
Why can't I remember that now?
Oh no, I
I
forgot
can't
too.
remember it either.
He did a whole series.
Right? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it was just terrible. It was so you can imagine this is 100 years before.
Oh, even worse. Yeah.
And the thing is, some of the women were admitted simply because they were immigrants. They didn't speak English.
Right.
It's not because they had a problem. It's because they couldn't.
Yeah.
I guess they get animated and they
Yeah.
can't. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
The conditions were deplorable.
Oh, of course.
So if Willowbrook.
Willowbrook was the one he
That was
yes,
the one. That
he
was
did.
the one that Geraldo did. Willowbrook, and I saw that.
And he also briefly mentioned Letchworth Village.
Where is that one?
That's down in Rockland County.
Oh, gee.
I've been there. I've been on the grounds of that.
So same.
It's
They were-
abandoned now. It's,
Yeah,
scary.
it was awful, and back then it was just awful.
Yeah.
I'm sure a regular hospital was awful.
It's still pretty.
You know,
sure,
this
yeah.
is what is this? 20 years after the Civil War, where they're cutting your arms off,
Right.
and it's just disgusting.
And they really haven't.
They didn't know what to do with
they
these
didn't know.
people.
They didn't understand.
You know, they had no clue. So after 10 terrifying days, a lawyer from the New York world was hired, and Nellie, thank God, was released. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Because if you're not crazy when you go in, you're certainly crazy on the way out.
Oh yeah.
So on October 9th, 1887, the World published her articles called Behind Asylum Bars. Her articles became so popular that 2 months later, a book about her experience was published, and it's called 10 Days in a Madhouse, which I haven't read yet. I have it on hold at the library.
Uh-huh. Oh,
This-
that? You're
yeah.
the one who put it on hold.
Oh, sorry, that was me. Did you have to order it?
No.
Oh, okay. Will you read it to me?
Sure.
Okay. Her story brought positive changes to not only Blackwell's Island, but to other New York mental institutions as well.
Sure.
So because this cracks open all the horrific details, they finally made, changes.
Made some real
which
changes,
really
yeah.
pulls your heart out to think about
yeah.
what these people went through.
Oh yeah.
In 1893, Nellie was using her celebrity status that she had gained from the asylum reporting to schedule an interview with the alleged insane serial killer, none other than your famous Lizzie Halliday. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So she interviews her. I'm sure now you're out of the nut house,
Yeah.
but you're interviewing
A crazy woman.
the nutcase.
In
So
the Monticello prison, Monticello jail cell.
can you imagine? So she goes
yeah.
into the jail cell with her,
Yeah.
and that's got to be equally as scary.
Oh yeah.
Because at least in Blackwell, you don't know if they're all crazy. They could have PMS. They could be
Right.
not speaking. Here, you know, this woman
She's crazy and she's
is
killed
a murderer. Yeah,
several times. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So activist journalists like Lizzie were known as muckrakers. But they were an important part of reform movements. Okay? This also effectively launched the decade of quote-unquote stunt or detective reporting, which was a clear precursor to investigative journalism and one of Joe Pulitz's innovations that helped give new journalism of the 1880s and 1890s, like, really a head start. Yeah. In 1888, Nellie suggested to her editor at The World that she goes on a little trip around the world.
Yeah,
attempting to turn the fictional Around the World in 80 Days from 1873 into fact for the first time.
I mean, she had all kinds of great ideas.
She really did.
Just a visionary on journalism and getting the news out there.
And really really reporting and cracking things open and getting our hands dirty.
Yeah.
So a year later, at 9:40 a.m. on November 14th, 1889, and within 2 days' notice, she boards the Augusta Victoria, a steamer of the Hamburg American Line, and begins her 24,898 mile journey.
Just a quick jump.
Just a little, overnighter.
Yeah.
It's often been dismissed as a circulation-boosting gimmick of the sensationalist press. However, the genre also provided women with their first collective opportunity to demonstrate that as a class, they had the skills necessary for the highest level of general reporting. Go girls.
Absolutely.
Go girls. The Stunt Girls, with Bly as their prototype, were the first women to enter the journalistic mainstream in the 20th century. Go Nellie.
She started it all.
She really did.
Yeah.
Her articles for The World made the papers sell more than ever, obviously. To sustain interest in her story, The World was organizing now a Nellie Bly guessing match while she was on the voyage, in which readers were asked to estimate her arrival time to the second, with the grand prize consisting of a first prize, a trip to Europe, and other prizes they would give. Yeah, guess when, where's Waldo? And guess how much money she spent on the trip. Guess what time she'll arrive. Sounds like fun trivia.
Did anybody come close?
I don't know. Who cares? During her travels around the world, Nellie went through England and France, where she actually did meet Jules Verne. Jules Verne, through the Suez Canal, through the Straits of Penang and Singapore and Hong Kong and Japan, and yay.
She saw it all.
Just over 72 days from her departure from Hoboken, she was back in New York. She had circumnavigated the globe, traveling alone for almost the entire journey. Except when she was in Singapore, she bought a pet monkey.
Okay.
Don't ask. Bly's journey was a world record, although that only stood for a few months until George Francis Train completed the journey in 67 days. Nellie was an icon. There was a Nellie Bly board game, Nellie Bly trading cards, even a Nellie hat, like the one she was wearing on her travels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it must have been very cool. In 1895, Nellie married multi-millionaire manufacturer Robert Seaman. Nellie was 31 and Seaman was 73 when they got married.
Okay.
They only knew each other for about 2 weeks before getting hitched.
What is girlfriend doing?
I don't know. I don't want to think that she married. I mean, he's a millionaire. I don't really, she needed his money. I mean,
I don't think so.
Anyway, due to her husband's failing health, she left journalism. She succeeded her husband as head of the Ironclad Manufacturing Company, which made steel containers for milk cans and boilers, crap like that. He died in 1904. Nellie was an inventor in her own right, believe it or not. She received a patent for a novel milk can and another U.S. patent for stacking garbage cans, both under her married name. Huh. So, for a time, she was one of the leading women industrialists in the United States.
I had no idea that. But I just knew her as a journalist.
But this was her second act.
Oh.
But there was negligence, there was embezzlement by a factory manager, resulting in the Ironclad Manufacturing Company going belly up.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, here we go again.
Oh, no.
So, on January 27th of 1922, Nellie died of pneumonia at St. Mark's Hospital in New York at only 57.
Oh, that's young.
She's interred at the Woodlawn Cemetery in the Bronx.
Oh, yeah.
She leaves a legacy of, by 1998, she's inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. And today's International Women's Day, isn't it? So we're going to dedicate this to Nellie.
So wild.
Yeah.
Right.
I just thought of that. So this goes out to Nellie. Nellie was one of 4 journalists honored with a U.S. postage stamp in a Woman in Journalism set in 2002. In 2019, the Nellie Bly Monument was built on Roosevelt Island, which was formerly Blackwell's Island.
Okay.
She used her career to shed light on the horrors of urban life and break gender stereotypes, and she was definitely a pioneer in investigative journalism.
I'll say.
I wanted to give a shout out to other women stunt reporters as well.
Oh, good.
Annie Laurie, 1863 to 1936, worked for the San Francisco Examiner. Her real name was Winifred Sweet Black Bonfields, but again, me and names.
Okay.
She once pretended to faint on the streets of San Francisco to show how quickly the hospitals would respond.
Oh,
she was testing it, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Apparently wasn't fair. Yeah, I'm going to faint here and see if hospitals respond.
She's like, I do my own stunts.
So, because of her article, the city brought in its first ambulance.
Oh.
She was also the only woman reporter on the disastrous hurricane in Galveston, Texas in 1900.
Oh, wow.
Eva Gay, real name Eva McDonald Velesh, 1866 to 1956, reported for the St. Paul Globe. As an undercover factory worker in 1888, she exposed a local garment factory's poor treatment of the women that worked there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, that was going like the triangle. All that crap was going on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Less than a month after her article was published, the women went on strike to protest the long hours, low pay, and dangerous working conditions. Go her.
Get him.
They were very empowered by her.
Yeah.
Nora Marks, real name Eleanor Strackhouse Atkinson, 1863-1942, worked for the Chicago Tribune. She wrote about the poor treatment of children who were accused of crimes. Children criminals. Some boys as young as 10 were held in Chicago's county jail for more than a month.
Oh, jeez.
Holding these children. And so these women were also pioneers in investigative and, stunt and doing what they had to do to break open these cases. And it's still 100 years later, Geraldo was still doing Willowbrook.
Yeah.
Still, we haven't always learned the treatment of these people. When you
We
hear
still
things.
we still have a major mental health crisis. We don't know how to deal with it.
I know.
Nowadays, it's just like, oh, here's some meds and go deal with your shit. And then people don't take the meds, and then we don't know how to handle.
No, we don't. We don't know what to do with people that are, having an issue.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are undiagnosed turn to alcohol and drug abuse.
Yep.
And then you lock them in a jail as being a user when the problem is they're self-medicating because they got a mental issue.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is, but...
I don't either. I wish I did.
So that's another fabulous on International Women's History Day.
Yeah,
Giving a shout out to the women that changed the voice of journalism.
And now we got all kinds of great female journalists in the
Seriously,
world.
Seriously, Barbara Walters and all these wonderful women that go on location and do all these wonderful, groundbreaking stories and putting themselves on the line. Yeah. But it wouldn't have been if not for Nellie Bly.
That's right.
So
awesome.
There you have it.
I dig it.
All right.
Well, thank you for sharing. I learned a lot today about
Good. I'm glad. I want the show to be fun and educational and uplifting. And all right, breathers.
And so does Lila.
Oh, that was a loud one.
What
was that, Lila? You want to do a report in the litter box?
Lila.
She's going to do some investigative reporting.
I think Lila likes Nellie Bly.
Do you?
I think she does. Oh, really?
Did Timmy fall down the well? Oh. All right, breathers. There you have it. Timmy fell down the well.
We better go get him.
All right. We're going to go save Timmy. And he never learns. Well, thank you, breathers, for listening to another fun,
fabulous,
wonderful,
educational
episode of All My Favorite People Are Dead.
Bye.
All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. I say it. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead.